That's not the only big news coming out of college football. Just here recently, we just found out that Quinn Ewers, the University of Texas Longhorn, is going to be declaring for the draft. He's going to be following. He's going to be leaving with 9,128 passing yards, a 64.9% completion rating, and 24 INTs. Do you guys think this is the right move for Quinn Ewers to make the move this year?
Negative.
No.
Negative.
Yeah. I don't think so either, man. I think Quinn Ewers is going to be a decent quarterback, but it's going to be. I think he's not going to be till the third, maybe second, third round kind of guy. I don't foresee him being a first round talent. But I also feel like that he kind of saw the writing on the wall to the point of Arch Manning is what they've been in the wings waiting for. That's what everybody's been wanting. That's what everybody's been waiting for. I think Quinn Ewers had his opportunity. Played well, didn't play bad at all. They almost made it to the national championship game. They were one of the best teams in the country. But I think that it was a bad move for him to it's the right move for him to come out when he can now, because another season, Arch Manning would have been knocking on the door, and I think that it's the right time for him to leave. He'll be there. Arguably right now, he's sitting at most people have him about the third best quarterback in this draft, which isn't a bad spot to be in. I think he would be more of a project kind of guy. Go to an organization that can let him sit and learn a little bit, and I think he'll have actually a good chance. He has some wheels. He has a pretty decent arm. He's accurate. It's just he did not look that great this year. But he also played in the SEC, so go from the Big 12 to the SEC. That changes a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to make that move for sure, but still, it's one of those things where I know Arch Manning is going to be knocking on the door next year, but Ewers to me just didn't look like a finished product. And I feel like you said, he's going to be, maybe it might be right in terms of his stock might not be higher or something, but I would rather see him get one more season. I'd rather see him grow, mature, and develop more. Yeah, if you want to transfer, cool. If you're not able to hold off Arch Manning, fine. But you need to you need to be able to develop, I think, one more year. A lot of times we see players leaving for the draft. And again, I understand the business aspect of it, but the football aspect of it is some players need that senior year to really develop, to really mature. And is it taking a chance to go to forego the draft or to go one more season? You could possibly get injured. Yeah, of course. But you're also too, you have the NIL, you have transfer portal, you have ways to still make money while you're in college. So it's one of those things where your stock is like mid-third or like third round right now. Go transfer somewhere else. You could possibly take into the solid second or even the first round next year.
No, I agree. I know it's easier said than done. It's not our body. It's not anything like that. But you're totally right. Quentin Ewers could either go to another school and try it again, but that also doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out in his favor. Texas is one of the best teams in the country, and if you're already mediocre or one of the best teams in the country, that can only make you go down. So I think it is the right move for him to finally make that transition to the NFL. And honestly, I think that he's the type of guy his game is going to translate to the NFL. He kind of reminds me more of a Brock Purdy, which whoever thought we'd actually be comparing people to Brock Purdy ever. But having said that, he reminds me of like a Brock Purdy. If he can get with one of these good offensive teams, an offensive coach that understands things, your boy Liam Cohen, something along those lines. Tampa Bay could be a team that could pick him up possibly if they're going to let go maybe Kyle Trask. Who knows? There's a lot of people. There's a lot of teams I think that's out there that could take a guy like that, and he's not going to be your day one starter. That's established, and let him learn a little bit. But he definitely reminds me of a project. But I think he is going to work out in the pros. I just don't think he's your day one starter, and I don't think anybody's picking him for that.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. G. Mike? What do you think, man?
As a business decision, I feel like it was great on his part, because if he would have transferred to another school, who knows if he would have actually played for another school. I would say maybe 70% he would. If he would have gone back to Texas, he's not playing again. Arch Manning is taking that job, and he's not playing again. That's why he got up out of there.
Yeah.
And so him going to the draft is him trying to solidify himself and trying to get some money out of it. Instead of going, maybe he thought he couldn't play for another school. Maybe he thought other schools didn't want him. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to go to the draft and see if an NFL team wants me. And I think the NFL team will. But I think it's going to be in the later rounds, maybe round 4, round 5. You probably get drafted. Some teams do need a quarterback, but they don't need a quarterback like him, in my opinion. I feel like, I hope you're right, Steve. I would not want to see anybody do bad in their careers, but I just don't see him transitioning well to the NFL. I think that we saw what happens against the SEC teams, and that pressure, that top level defenses that he went up against, he didn't play as well. And I feel like you go to the NFL, it's going to be this exact same thing. A lot of pressure, a lot of defensive linemen coming at you for them sacks, for them QB hits. And I think that pressure is going to get to him, and he's not going to be a good quarterback. I think he's going to be mediocre at best, a QB too. And, you know, at least you're playing football and getting paid for it. Yeah. I mean, you're riding the bench, but, hey, you're still making $500,000 on the bench. So it's like you got to be grateful for at least that.
I mean, the NFL is one of the few sports. I take that back. Not one of the few sports. NFL, if you go with the right team, it changes everything. And I think it's all about what actually works out a little bit better. Let's not forget, Russell Wilson was a third round pick. I hate using the Tom Brady thing. Tom Brady, Brock Purdy. You know, you can find value in some of these guys later on. And honestly, sometimes it's better to go later on because that means you're not trying to be the savior and go to a bad team. There's a reason why they're picking so high. So maybe if you get a team, let's go Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh could use another. They're in a weird spot right now with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Yeah. Oakland, you know, there's teams out there that could use a starter, a backup quarterback. Dolphins, you know, there's a lot of teams that could possibly use a guy that could work out like this. So I think Quinn Ewers has an opportunity to play in the NFL. It's going to be up to him.
I think he has the ability, 100%. I think he has the ability, but I think the mental is not there, which he can work on. I'm not saying that he can't. Just right now, as I see it, I think that he'll just be a mediocre NFL QB.
Yeah, he might be more of like a solid backup, which is fine.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, whatever.
That's a great gig to have.
Getting $500,000, I'll be on a practice squad right now. $10K a month. Yo, I'm out there.
Yeah, 100%.